Okay, I'm just checking my
Ready,
hair.
people? Let's look alive.
Hair check. It. Let's go live. Do people say that all the time?
No.
Good.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is. It's time to get a little Fronky up in here. This is Let Me Be Fronk.
It's time to get funky. We're all getting funky. It's time for a Lisa Fronk. A Lisa Fronk.
Let me be Fronk. Hello, and welcome back to Let Me Be Fronk, a bi-weekly talk show I host in my New York City apartment, despite traffic noises, limited space, and other obstacles I'm not going to bore you with today. But thanks for asking. If you happen to be new here, welcome in, you cutie patootie. I'm so glad you joined us today. Drop a comment sometime. I love to hear from my small but budding community. Just a quick note, this will be our only November episode for the month. Your girl's busy. I gotta go celebrate my nephew's first birthday. That's right. Happy early birthday, Jet. Easton Smith, you're the love of my life. Also gotta celebrate a little Thanksgiving with the fam. So thank you for understanding, but we'll be back hot in December. I can't believe I was finally able to book this Brooklyn icon, and I'm so excited for you to meet them. They are the owner and creative director for a hair removal and facial lounge known as Uncle Nat's, formerly Sugaring Brooklyn. Their introduction to the salon world started in their mom's home-based nail salon in California in the 80s. As a fat, trans, and disabled kid, they felt alienated by the clash of beauty standards and aggressive diet culture. Salons never felt like a place for them. Dozens of chapters later in their beautiful storied life, Uncle Nat opened a salon in Flatbush, Brooklyn in 2017. Uncle Nat's is a radical rethinking of comfort in a salon for those often overlooked or underserviced. And it isn't just a salon either. It's a space where fat, trans, disabled people and anyone who doesn't fit the mold can come and feel celebrated. People of all different bodies, genders, backgrounds, and unique needs are welcomed. Over the past 7 years, Uncle Nat's has provided over $400,000 in mutual aid to trans clients, covering services that should be funded by health insurance but are often left out. If it isn't obvious, they are a loud advocate for fat, trans, queer, disabled, POC community, sex workers, and survivors 24/7, 365 days a year. Their heart for community inspires me deeply. I cherish our friendship and always look forward to our conversations. Please give a warm welcome to my friend and neighbor, Uncle Nat.
Wow. Oh, that was beautiful.
I
Thank
will
you.
peek behind the curtain. You gave me an incredible bio. You're a beautiful writer.
Oh, thank you.
So a lot of that
Thank
was
you.
your words, and I just morphed it
Oh,
into,
wow.
did a little hybrid thing with my own
Wow.
words.
Why, thank you.
So if you're crying, it's because you moved yourself.
I'm a self-mover.
Clearly. How are you? It's good to see you.
It's great to see you.
I'm so excited you're here.
Your apartment is really beautiful.
Thank you so much. I have been dying to get you over here for
Mhm.
many moons because we both love
Mhm.
good interior, intentional interior design
Yeah.
and decorating,
Yeah.
and little Easter eggs. We're both big on that.
Mhm.
I'm goo goo gaga over your space, your salon, and your home even.
Thank you.
It's so good. And I have to do a profile of Uncle Nat's on the show one day.
Yeah.
I really want to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll
I'm
make
just
that happen.
excited because I remember when you started decorating this space.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you were talking about blue walls.
Yeah.
So this is really exciting to be here.
Well, thank you for the high praise. I feel very at home now. And maybe you'll relate to this, but I always feel like if I'm living in a space and as a creative person and a person who loves decor and design, I'm always going to be tinkering here and there and changing things as I go because my taste changes.
Same.
And I find things and I want to integrate it into my space. So it's never going to be 100% done,
Mhm.
but it might be 90 or 95% done.
Yeah. Enough to function. Actually, I'm excited for you to come to the shop because I've been doing trade for art, and I have a lot of art now.
More art?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you already have amazing art.
Yeah, all from clients. Client art.
Okay, I'm booking my appointment ASAP.
I'm excited.
Yeah, is hairy, so I need to get in. I need to get my laser. I've been a little slack about it, so I'm scared about those generations growing back.
All those generations.
No, okay, I'm so excited to come in and see it. I love your space. I just want to hang out there.
I didn't realize how close we were. We're like
I've
really.
been telling you for years.
I know.
we're
I don't.
neighbors.
I hear nothing.
I walk to Uncle Nat's whenever I have an appointment because it's not that many blocks away. I
Mhm.
won't disclose our exact locations.
Yeah,
Well,
we're close.
you
Yeah.
disclose your exact
Yeah,
location.
yeah, I'm on Google
I'm not going to
Maps.
do that quite yet.
Right, right.
Um,
You're not open to the public yet?
not quite.
No, don't
I'm
do
already
it.
like pushing it a little bit, with my TikToks in the show and whatnot. Like,
Oh
I
my
don't think it's
gosh.
that hard to piece together where I live, but that's not a challenge. So stop it.
Don't try it.
Literally. Fun fact, I've mentioned this before, but I have my guests fill out a guest informational and I always check in about their interview boundaries. I had to write down what Uncle Nat said because it made me laugh so hard. They said, Alyssa, you have the rights to my story. Leave no stone unturned. The people want to know. And that made me giggle so much. But I really appreciate your openness. I think it's such a flex. It's so bold and brave and like powerful at the same time.
Yeah.
So I just want to let people know we might go there today.
Yeah,
So buckle up, all right?
Bolt it down.
Literally. I also want to disclose that I am a client of Uncle Nat's, a proud client. Almost 4 years I've been going to your business.
Mhm.
And I will say I'm not getting paid or for this interview or anything like that. Or like for promo, I'm genuinely a friend
Aw.
of yours, and I look up to you as an entrepreneur and a creative and a community leader. I also really believe in the mission of your business, and I want to help keep the lights on. So
Oh, thank
this
you.
is why I'm doing that. And people need
I
to know about
appreciate
you.
you.
People need to know about your
Yeah.
business, and you have so much to give and share. Like, you're truly a wealth of knowledge. So it's an honor to have you on the show.
You lift me up. There's so much information about me out there, and most of it isn't even true. So it might as well
And
come
we're going to
from me.
set the record straight today. So, Uncle Nat,
Hey,
I've heard you've lived a few different lives.
just a few. I
a
mean,
few.
by the time you're 50, I would hope so.
You are not.
I am 49.
Aren't you shook? But I want to open up the floor to you. Tell us about yourself.
shit.
We can start with California days.
I am
all
from
that.
California.
Just whatever you want to share. Whatever feels right.
I'm from the Bay Area. My Auntie Debbie dated Steve Wozniak. So when I was a kid, I used to hang out at his house.
Casual.
Very, very strange. 1970s.
And how was he towards you?
He never paid any attention to me. He hung out with the adults. I hung out with his kids.
You know
his
what? I actually
kids.
like that. Not
Yeah.
predatory.
Yeah. And then I saw him at the Magic Castle when I was in LA. And I said, I know you.
Recently?
It was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
So 10 years ago, I was living in LA. And of course, everybody in LA wants to get invited to the Magic Castle. It's like a big deal. So I got invited to the Magic Castle. And I thought, this is it.
I feel stupid as hell. What is the Magic Castle?
It's a,
I'm
it's like
such an East Coast girl, please.
it is a
Educate me.
castle in
Okay.
LA that is a private club for magicians. Like Neil Patrick Harris performs there. Yeah.
Now I want to go.
hmm
Wait,
Everybody
this is
does.
The question everyone wants to know: Neil Patrick Harris is a magician. Is he good?
Yeah, right? Isn't that this is like known fact, right?
I did not know that.
Steve Martin is like he's like
That doesn't surprise
yeah,
me.
he's like the
He does it all. But
Yeah.
I would pay top dollar to see that man. do
yeah.
magic
I'm almost
tricks.
sure. I mean, shoot, watch me be totally wrong, but no, Neil Patrick Harris and Steve Martin, I think, are among some of the more famous members.
Of course, that makes so much sense for them.
And of course, I'm a double Leo,
Of
which
course.
is why I was like, no stone
What are
left
your top
unturned.
3?
This is my double Leo, Scorpio rising, and something about Taurus in my like house of business.
Okay,
Something about Uncle Nat's was basically written in the stars.
I believe that.
Yeah.
The Scorpio rising also makes sense to me,
I remember the time that somebody hurt me in the 3rd grade, and I'll never forget it.
and you shouldn't.
And I'll cry about it right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Please don't. Please don't. I hope they're doing well. But that's why we get along.
Yeah.
I love Leos. I famously have a million Leo friends. Like, all my best friends are Leos, and I love a strong
It's not
personality.
easy. It's not an easy person to be friends with. And if it's your taste, that's pretty cool.
Sometimes they get a bad rap. I don't understand why.
I love
'Cause
Leos.
them. I love a strong personality.
Same.
The bolder, the louder, the better.
Same. I
We're
feel
gonna
that
find
way.
community within each other.
What's your 3?
Aquarius, Leo moon, Cancer rising.
Oh, yes. I love all of that.
Yeah, I'm very Aquarius though. Like 4 placements,
Mm.
3 Capricorn placements,
Mm.
and I do have a little Scorpio in me.
Yeah.
But my chart is pretty simple. I only have 5
You have like
signs.
you have a wide breadth of being able to take what people have.
Mm.
Like emotions, and then you're like, cool, let's go watch a movie.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm
Like you're good at like also like pulling up.
yeah. Yeah, I was just born this way. I don't know. I feel like I'm village. I
Yeah.
am part of the village. I'm village.
Yeah.
I
That's why you're
don't
good at this.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I don't have a desire to have children of my own.
Mhm.
However, I feel like my role in the village is to protect and look out for kids and invest in them and love them,
Mhm.
but also like love my neighbors, be a active community member, active community advocate, maybe one day a community leader, just, whatever naturally shows up for me or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I am Uncle Nat.
Yeah,
Similar. I'm trying to reclaim Uncle, by the way,
I love it.
because Uncle's been kind of like has a bad rap.
No, I think I told you once upon a time you're my favorite uncle.
Yeah. Listen, Uncles get a bad rap, and I am trying to reclaim the name. So I'm like the auntie of the uncles, I guess.
Totally.
There's no real non-binary term
No.
that I'm down for. I just don't want to have to explain to people this new word that I
Yeah.
come up with. It's like an aunt and an uncle, but with no gender. Just like fuck it.
I
I'm
find
Uncle.
it very endearing. Uncle Nat. Like,
Yeah.
we're instantly family. Oh my god, a Mooney appearance so soon in the show. I'm so
Hi.
never met Mooney.
Oh my
Mooney baby.
goodness! And you look like you're wearing a bow tie.
She's wearing this cute little pearl necklace and her little charm.
So cute.
And that's Mooney. Mooney, say hi to Uncle Nat.
Meow meow.
Their pronouns are they, them. Get
What's
it
that?
right. Do you like cats?
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah, I used
You're
to.
a dog person, though.
I am a dog person. But I don't really have a reason anymore because I used to say I like dogs
Mhm.
because I'm the only one that's allowed to like shit in my house. But then I got Frenchies
They do.
and they'll shit on everything you love. Yeah.
They look like they would. They're so cute. I love them.
Yeah, they're sweethearts. They're curing me of my obsessive compulsive disorder
Oh, that's beautiful.
through exposure therapy.
That's beautiful. Children will do that.
Yeah, they will. And they're actually we're putting on the menu puppy pre-care, which has always been there. Puppy pre-care has always been a thing, by the way, IRS, because listen, the Internal Revenue Service someday is going to audit me and be like, you claim your dogs? Yes, therapeutic dogs. Since day one,
Does the IRS try to fight that?
they will someday, right? Someday they're going to be like, you've claimed your dogs. I should have claimed them sooner. I blame all my past CPAs for not being creative enough.
Fair.
I'm in
Let's
space.
talk about Uncle Nat's.
Yeah,
Tell us all
yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's how we first connected.
Yeah,
Go.
that's right. You're like an OG
Well,
client.
I will say, I think you know this, but I had never, ever been waxed, sugared, anything, gone to a hair care specific salon. I was
Yep.
actually quite terrified of anyone
Mhm.
seeing my bits and pieces. And
Yeah.
I'm just kind of more like modest and shy in that way. Um,
Yeah, maiden
and then-
voyage.
yeah. and
That's what we
then
call them.
I always pass them like one day I need to do this because like shaving isn't always the remedy, and it's an
No.
uphill battle at times. And
Yeah,
your girl was getting ingrowns, of TMI. I don't care, it's my show.
that's not too much information.
So then
That's
I
just
did
the
a little,
right.
we're human and we all get them. Like, let's not act like we don't.
Yeah, we all have hairs and follicles, and sometimes the
Truly.
hairs leave the follicle, and sometimes they don't.
Exactly. And
It's
what?
really that simple.
I don't really wish that even on my worst enemies, because when the hair doesn't leave a follicle, it can get really painful.
And I don't charge for interim ingrowns, but if you start getting them, I just suggest laser.
Which is exactly what I did.
That's what we're doing now.
So I came in 4 years ago. I did a little Google search, and we were still pandemic days. This was 2021.
Hair
Like,
removal.
I'm ready to feel more womanly and take it to the next level. Like, really
Yeah.
invest in my hair care. And I came in and I got sugared, and I did sugaring for a long time. But then I started to have complications with ingrowns because at the time I was playing tennis a lot, and the spandex of it all was complicating things. And then you're like, babe, why don't you just do laser? And I was like,
yeah.
tell me all about it. You're like, you won't get
Yeah.
ingrowns. I have been doing laser for 3 years now. I have only gotten 2 ingrowns.
It really is
That's
the
a
cure.
miracle.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you're a cis woman that literally just said that you get hair removal done for gender affirming reasons.
Does that make me brave?
It's beautiful. No. But it is a very informative and
No,
a
I
pretty
mean-
great example of gender affirming care for everyone.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I've learned so much just being in your space and learning about your mission. And it's in a way kind of ironic because everyone is welcome. I'm not necessarily the target demo because like you said, I am a cis.
You are the target demo.
Really?
It's a salon for everyone.
Yeah.
with special focus on the needs of fat, trans, disabled, and POC clients. But it is not a niche market salon. It's for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that all of the information that we get as we go through this process of becoming estheticians is always focused on cis white women, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just the major demographic of salon industry and salon culture.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that that's not what the shop is for. And I've had a lot of cis white women
Yeah.
say, "I'm so sorry to take up space here." And I'm like, "Don't be." You're literally, it's a symbiotic relationship. I can't only work with trans folks, right? Because I
Yeah.
give a 40% sliding discount to trans folks. So
Mm-hmm.
we almost rely on kind of diversity of clientele. Some
Right.
people pay for full price, some people don't. And we need all of those people together. And also, like, we need cis people and trans people and fat people and thin people to hang out together in a shop. Like, that's
Absolutely.
important.
That's kind of more my commentary is I have the luxury of being able to walk into pretty much any
Mhm.
salon and be pretty catered to and all my needs met. But because I hadn't gone to salons that much before, only really like nail salons and hair cutting salons, and that's it, very limited,
Mhm.
insight into the salon world. I can't imagine going backwards now and going to like a European wax center because once I stepped into your space, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so comfortable here. Everything is so gentle and you really go out of your way to make every client feel comfortable and it's really all in the details there. And I don't want to give it all away. You just have to go see for yourself, but there's just so
A lot
many
of
little
details.
bits and that
It's a lot of
make
details.
it an amazing experience from start to finish.
Yeah.
And it's been an eye-opening experience for me because honestly, I never thought about how queer people are treated in salons or fat
Mhm.
people or disabled people are treated in salons, and those people absolutely deserve to be cared for and have the same services I do. And why is this not a norm? Thank you for creating a
Yeah.
space like this and getting this mission out there and inspiring other people to follow in your footsteps in their own ways of business.
Just in the last 8 years, 7 years that I've been in business, so many people on Instagram now are really accessible forward,
Love.
even if all they're saying is judgment free zone, which I always like to laugh about. But even if that's the beginning and the end of their accessibility, at least they're thinking about
It's
it.
a step.
Yeah, listen, seed planted. You start with judgment free zone and then you
Once
do
they
the things
start
that
saying
matter.
it, you start to think about, wait, actually, how can I carry this out?
Yeah.
And you're really big on making menus non-gender specific, which I
Mhm.
think is brilliant. Why do we have such gendered menus on everything?
People are so obsessed with genitals. And I mean, I'm obsessed with genitals too, but I think in a good way. Not in a dress according to your genitals, but don't talk
No.
about your genitals, but wear clothes that tell me what your genitals are. And I thought, what if we just had a space where we didn't actually announce our genitals? What if you literally just showed up for a Brazilian and like whatever's under the hood is what I'm doing?
Literally.
I'm going to hand you a mirror. We're going to talk about it. Whether two people have the same genitals or not, the cares and the process is going to be different. So why am I telling people just go ahead and let me know what your genitals are before you show up? I want to be prepared. Why do we need to be prepared? I mean, there's really
True
only
professionals don't need to be prepared.
right.
Matt.
Yeah. Are you a pro?
Yeah.
You should be ready for anything.
Exactly.
And the fact is, there are 11 different documented genitals you can be born with.
Really?
Let's not forget intersex
11?
people.
Wow.
Yeah. And what they call it, and this is the weird thing, this is where gender binary and separately genital binary is weird. People have all these different types of genital possibilities, but then they list them as like a deformed vagina
Oh.
or like a not quite there penis. Now, there's like 11 different types of genitals that you can be born with, not including all the cool shit you can do through surgery. I have clients that are going through phalloplasty. One of my clients decided not to finish. So he's keeping his phallus and his vagina. He's keeping both. One day to him, I said, the coolest thing I've ever had to do in this shop and in this line of business is figure out how to price out a Brazilian for someone with 2 genitals. That's the coolest thing I've ever. I want those problems. These
You're an
are-
engineer.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. This is what I want to. This is what I want my day to day to be like.
I'm very just team. It's your body. Do what you want.
I'm so here for the autonomy.
Why do I care? I'm not obsessed with other people's bits and pieces. Like, there was this woman on TikTok recently who she was in a voting line and someone was going on about, well, I just don't want trans people in the bathrooms. And she was like, I just don't get why Republicans are so obsessed with genitalia. Like, it's really perverted. I'm really disgusted by it. And started going on. And the woman was like getting all flustered, like, "Ugh," like she's like, so you're looking under stalls to see what they have?
How
Like,
do you know?
that is
Yeah.
perverted. Like, I can't believe
You're
people do that. Like,
obsessed.
how do you know if you're not looking and peeping? She's like, I'm not peeping and creeping. It was so funny. But
I love that.
I feel the same way. I'm like, why do I care? I don't.
The way that I'm obsessed about genitals is like any professional person who has mastered their craft.
Yeah,
Genitals are my craft,
exactly.
and I want to give lots of love and expertise to
Right.
all areas of the body consensually. I feel like that's a great way to be obsessed with genitals. Somebody on the internet once said, "You're obsessed with genitals." And I go, "I am. Wouldn't you want me to be?"
You're experted. You teach and educate people how to better take care of themselves and groom themselves and be
Yeah.
most comfortable in their body, their needs or whatever. Like, I hope you know what you're talking
Right?
about.
I
You're n-
hope for your sake that I'm obsessed with your
the
butthole.
people making this perverted are them.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are
They
being
just want to
weird
be
about
mad at
this.
it. There's a lot of professional estheticians that are still kind of weirded out by genitals, just in the ways that they like position their clients. And there's a lot of people
Mhm.
that will make fun of me on the internet. There's a podcast right now. They've done like 3 episodes that feel very much about Uncle Nat's, right?
Really?
Yeah,
Is this
like
like a local show or?
no, it's just like an industry, like estheticians talking, which I love. I love esthetician podcasts. I'll listen to that all day. But one is about like mandatory minimum 20% tips, which is what we do at
Mhm.
Uncle Nat's as
Mhm.
part of service industry reform. And there's lots of ways to do it, but I work with think tank people that are in the service
Mhm.
industry. Anyway, so they did a whole show on it, which I love.
Mhm.
And then they did a show on the difference between a vagina and a penis Brazilian and how you have to call them what they are because you need to know what your timings are going to be. I have a friend in the industry who's like all about the 7-minute Brazilian, Lady Pang. She's really cool. And she has a very specific business plan that is like probably the polar opposite of mine. And we are good friends. I like her so much, but we'll make fun of each other all the time.
Mhm.
She'll ask her clients, like, how long was your appointment? And they're like, 5 minutes,
Oh my
7
gosh.
minutes. And then she goes, would you have wanted to be here for a half an hour? And one of the clients goes, no, I got shit to do. What is your arm broken? I died. It was so funny.
That is funny.
I love her humor so much.
So she services a specific type of person,
Very
like
specific.
in and out, like
in and out, the 7-minute.
business people.
Right. And so for her, it's a 7-minute vagina Brazilian and it's a 15-minute penis Brazilian.
Okay.
But like I do universal design. So like I can't do that. I need to be able to make all of
Yeah.
my processes for the people that need the most. So then I'm like, why don't you just make all of your Brazilians 15 minutes? Oh, because we're leaving money on the table. We want to get people in and out. Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
That's a business model I don't practice, but that's
Right.
fair.
Your angle is custom to every client. No client is the same.
Yeah, and it does mean that sometimes I run behind, right? Because you can't always get it right. Some people are a 5-minute Brazilian and some
Yeah.
people are a 45-minute Brazilian. But I think in general, it helps me stick to my mission
Right.
and it works for me. But anyway, people do tend to like sometimes poke fun at Uncle Nat's. No,
Stop it.
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
like it.
That part I love. I love it when people poke fun in a way that it's like showing the diversity of ways that
Yeah,
you
like
can have
what your
salons.
friend's doing.
Yeah, I like
And
how she does it.
also, how healthy is it to have friends that are different from yourself? That's how you learn.
Literally that. Yeah.
Like,
That's
we are so
actual
different.
diversity.
Thank you. Okay, everyone's clapping. Thank you so much for saying that. Like, I mean, just take a look at us. We're so different.
Yeah.
But I've learned so much through you. And it's
Same.
because I don't have your lens of the world, but knowing you and connecting with you and listening to you,
Mhm.
I don't always talk all the time. And, like, I really like to listen to you, but
Yeah. We have good conversations.
we do.
When you're in the treatment room, I learn a lot from you too.
Ah,
You've had a
Uncle
really
Nat.
incredible life. You are such a like bloomin' onion.
You've told me that before. You said I'm oniony.
You're
Yeah.
so oniony.
I
You have so many layers.
Thank you. I do agree with that. I don't know if most people think or know that about me, but that's okay. I
Listen,
just
they
leave
can
it for
begin
you
and
to find
end with
out.
your Taylor Swift fangirl. And that can also be
Right.
fine.
I think people love to dismiss me quickly because I get how I present and whatever, but honestly, your loss if you don't have the creativity to see beyond a few things or
Spurlunk the Fronk or your loss.
literally.
Honestly. I feel that way about people in general. People just don't seem to have the spoons these days to spurlunk,
Mm,
you know?
that's such a good word. Spurlunk.
A lot of
No.
people popping off field because they're tired of spurlunking. Yeah, like, spelunking is like, I think it's like climbing jargon. I don't know.
I mean, that's my favorite thing to do
Go
in
deeper.
life is to get to know someone, like
Mhm.
really dig in, dive in, like let's explore all the little facets and file cabinets in your mind. I'm so intrigued by people. I really feel that people and connecting and conversation is the best education you can get in the world.
Mhm.
And that's how you learn the most about life. That's how you
Mhm.
get the most emotional intelligence and people skills, and it all comes together.
Yeah.
We learn best from knowing about each other. And I credit all my relationships in my life to being who I am,
Mhm.
because without getting outside my bubble, without going to college and studying abroad and moving to cities, I would be a totally different person.
Mhm.
Hi, Moon.
Hey, Babas.
This is my co-host. She's finally showing up for work. Oh, no, she went to the window.
She went to
Okay.
the window. Rude.
So I've learned a lot from you, and
Yeah.
I love our conversations because
Same.
nothing is off the table. We're kind of doing the same thing we do in person, which is like
Yeah,
we're
no, I'm
all
not
over
a
the
linear.
place.
I'm
No.
very autistic. I'm not a linear storyteller.
No, but it's fun.
I have learned with Instagram videos that I try to say the important stuff in the first 15 seconds, but other than that, like I really
No,
have no concept
okay.
of
Your
time.
social is good.
Okay, thanks.
I think you are amazing at
God.
cranking out a reel,
Bless you.
informational, educational, attention grabbing,
Wow.
bing bang boom.
Thank you.
I watch every single thing you post.
I appreciate that.
But no, back to more of Uncle Nat. So just take us through that vision and
Yeah.
the journey of it, if you will.
I was raised in a nail salon. My mom got a government program for single mothers to put her through what they used to call beauty school.
Beauty school dropout.
No graduation day.
That's amazing.
Well, my mom did nails in a very fancy nail salon in Los Gatos, in the Bay Area, and it was called Fatima's.
I love this.
Fatima wouldn't let my mom get off of work to pick me up from the first grade. And so my mom sent a cab. Now, I'm sorry, we're in New York, so cab does not ring the same way, but in the Bay Area, when a cab shows up, you're fucking rich. Everybody was like, "Who's this rich bitch?"
That's
It
hilarious.
was wild. Couldn't be further from the truth. My mom was on welfare when she
Not a
was
cab.
going through beauty school. I had to take a cab with a weird random cab driver to this fancy nail salon and do homework until she was done. And anyway, my mom ends up leaving. But instead of grabbing the client list on the way out the door, which is like so like the beginning of time, the story of every technician leaving a salon, my mother doesn't do that. Well, because also it would have been like a 3x5 card, like a box of 3x5 cards. And what a weird thing
Things
to
were
steal
a
on the
little
way out
different
the
back
door.
then.
Yeah, it was a little different.
That was the only copy. She was literally taking and stealing it.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the police would have shown up. People would have really cared about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she didn't. She put an ad in the paper and she said, "Patricia Ferraro, if you know, you know." And fucking 80 people followed her to our home.
Whoa.
Yeah. Basically, her entire clientele followed her.
So she was good.
She was good. My mom taught me about nail architecture, about arches, about architecture of the nail. She's brilliant.
I
I wish she had
this.
done it longer, but she got sick because it's a very toxic industry to be in. That's why I don't do nails. High overhead and too much toxicity shit. Yeah. She had an
yeah.
autoimmune. She and I both got really sick
Oh God.
and she never returned to it. But I learned a lot. I worked in her salon. All the female presenting people in my family are estheticians and hairstylists and nail artists, and all the men were electricians.
Kind of incredible.
Very binary gendered family.
Truly.
I never felt really super comfortable though. My mom always just talked about diets. It was the 80s. I mean, that's all we'd ever talked about was skipping breakfast and smoking cigarettes and eating grapefruits. And somehow bagels became diet culture. I don't know how that happened.
LOL,
Yeah.
dummies.
Don't worry, we brought bagels. I'm like, what does that mean? What are you talking about?
That's hilarious.
cake.
Not
Yeah.
a bagel diet.
Gilda Radner had cancer because of Sweet and Low, right? Everybody was like
God.
afraid of fake sweeteners. And anyway, so it was the 80s. All we talked about was low fat cottage cheese. Anyway,
Ew.
but I used to tell my mom, this is so annoying. Y'all talk about diets every single day and nobody looks any different.
Such
None
a
of you.
boring
None of you have lost a
conversation.
fucking pound. Like, get into art. Like, go to a museum. Like, I don't know. I was never going to open up a salon. I was going to win a Grammy. I was in the music industry before this. I was never going to do a salon. And it wasn't until I was 40 that I decided to. I always said if I didn't buy a house money with music, not just make money, but buy a house money with music, that I would move on at like 35. And so at 35, I started to step away from music.
Can you talk about your music career a little bit?
Yeah. I haven't dropped it, but I
No.
don't try to make money from it anymore. Yeah, I've been in like really cool bands. I had a band called Ninja Betty and the Nunchicks.
Obsessed. Is it on
Eric,
Spotify?
it's on Bandcamp.
Okay, I'm gonna go look into
That's how old
this.
school my bands are.
Wait, but the fact that it's accessible, that makes me really
Yes,
excited because
you
I
can
will
go.
be going and listening and streaming.
The Ninja Betty and the Nunchicks album. Laura McKellar, who's an incredible artist from Melbourne, did our album cover.
Fun, shout
Super
out.
cute. And I was in a band called Scorba, which is also on Spotify, Skoorba. So it's
Okay,
A
not you
Brooks.
being a pop star. Did you even then kind of subscribe to the genre music thing? Like, did you identify as one set genre or no?
Well, it just depended on the project.
Fair.
So my personal music is very Amy Mann, very theatrical.
Mm-hmm.
I got pulled into a lot of electronic music projects.
Okay.
So Scorba is very Portishead. So it's very
Sounds like it would
aughts.
be.
It's very aughts. That aughts like electro snatch kind of
Yeah.
sound.
Were you lead singer for all these projects?
Yeah. I don't really play any
Star potential, star behavior.
voice is my only instrument. I play enough ukulele to make bad YouTube videos and enough keys to also do bad YouTube videos.
Okay.
So I'm on YouTube though. I think you can find me as Natalie Ferraro.
I will say I was so shook to learn your government name,
Well, my government name is Natalie Venus D. Hull.
which is a incredible name. Venus is your middle name. Are you kidding me?
No, Venus D is my. I have a
Venus
compound
D.
middle name. This is my dad did a lot of drugs. My dad is a bad man, but he did so many drugs. And he wanted to name me Venus D. Hull. So if I ever married a man whose last name is Milo, my name would be Venus de Milo.
That's crazy.
That's what drugs can do. I'm not mad at it. And then my mother was like, "You're not calling our child Venus." And so my mom said, "You can have the middle name." So he goes, "Great. The middle name is Venus D."
I love it.
And my mom named me after Natalie Wood. So when I was in
Okay.
the first grade, Natalie Wood had just died. And so all the
R.I.P.
kids said to me, as if this were a cut and a burn, and I actually took it like I cried, "What kind of wood floats?" Wait, what kind of wood doesn't float, Natalie Wood? I don't know, one of those. It was like a joke about her death. And
Pretty
and
morbid for
somehow that was
children. Pretty
very
morbid.
morbid.
I don't
And
like
then they
it.
found out my middle name and they were like, "You're a planet, you're a planet." And I shut up. Picture me first grade going, "Nuh-uh, I was named after the goddess of love and beauty."
That's a flex. That's a flex. Yeah, kids just don't. You don't know things
Get your
in
shit
first
together.
grade.
First of all, Natalie Wood is passed and you're making jokes about her death.
It's
Wish-
insensitive.
I wish that were the style
Yeah.
of me in the first grade. That
All
didn't
the
come out till
clapbacks that could have been.
junior high is when I came out of my shell.
I
That's
would
when.
kill to see junior high school you.
Junior high Uncle Nat was a lot of smashing people with words.
Mm.
Oh, you want to fat joke me? Let's go. I literally, till this day, when we have reunions, everyone's like, nobody could fat joke you and not get demolished.
If there's one person I'm not going to battle with via the spoken word, it's you. I know my place.
Listen,
I don't need to go there.
I feel like the internet is all that now, so I tend to try to step back now and
Mhm.
not smash people too often. But if I
Yeah.
have to smash somebody on the internet,
if you have to hold your own, you have to hold your own. But I can
Yeah.
see how that can be a slippery slope, and it might be even really tempting at times to like respond to everything. And
yeah. Oh, I
But-
love responding to my 1-star reviews. That's my.
no,
I want to put together a book.
I've gone through and read them and
They're good.
had a little giggle or two.
It's good.
Yeah.
People come to me because of my replies to the 1-star reviews. It's how I vet people.
I just like that you protect what you built. And I think that's absolutely fair when in business. This is an interesting time in society where cancel culture, which you are very passionate about, is super prevalent. I feel like the whole rating thing is so misconstrued because people will write a review about, for example, going to a restaurant. "I love this place. I've gone there 10 times. But tonight I went and my food was cold. 1 star." You're going to
Oh my
trash this
God.
business
Yeah.
over one fluke of a night when you just sang their praises. How does that make any
Yeah.
sense? And also
Bitch,
1
have
star,
you ever burned the eggs?
maybe 4 star. Also, why are you only chiming up to say the bad?
Yeah.
You're just a peanut gallery. I'm sorry.
That. If something is fundamentally wrong with a business and you
Put 'em
feel
on
like you
blast,
should let
yes.
people know,
If it's
hey,
unsafe or
yeah, like-
predatory
or whatever. I'm really into reviews that Just say it how it is.
Mhm.
I personally do not like my eggs runny, and this place always makes the eggs runny, even if I ask them not to. It's like the chef is just in love with a runny egg. And it's like, that's
Mhm.
cool. That's not saying the whole place sucks. And it
No.
tells people that like runny fucking eggs, run your ass over to this place to get your runny eggs.
You can
Yeah,
do something with that information.
literally that.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, go write a review. It doesn't have to be 5 stars. I don't care. And they're like, what should I say? Let them know I'm very serious about the late policy.
That's your biggest hill.
I don't want
Your one biggest
anyone,
hill.
please don't be confused. I have to protect the space and I have to pay my bills. And I'm too busy giving away $400,000 in mutual aid to the trans community to also throw in not
Mhm.
charging you your cancellation fee. I can't be
Yeah.
flexible with that because I'm doing this Herculean shit in the background. And you either are down with that or you're not down with that.
Can you explain the sliding scale to people who might not be
Oh,
aware
yeah. Thank you.
of a business practice like this?
There are some people that need hair removal to like stay alive. A good example is, right, trans women that are trying to laser their face as quickly as possible so that they can be safer out in the world. If that's their idea of safety and the look that they're looking for, there are some trans women that decide to wear their beard out or wear their facial hair out. And then there are some that just really don't and don't want to because of safety reasons. And so laser's really expensive. And so I give a sliding scale to trans folks for 40% off laser. Also, like insurance should be covering this shit. The problem with insurance right now is, first of all, you have to cosplay poverty most of the time to get it, right? There's a lot of trans folks that have to quit their jobs and work for cash and then get on Medicaid and then get on a Medicare, which is the Medicaid for trans people, and then go get your surgeries as if surgery is the end all be all of transitioning, which is not it at all. Transitioning could be clothes, transitioning could be hormone. I'm on testosterone. I could go on no testosterone and do no surgeries and still be trans. I could present female like I pretty much still do now and still be trans. There's no coverage for that when you find that there are things about your hair that give you dysphoria or make you feel feelings or take up so much of your time. I was shaving 3 times a day in high school.
Wow.
To shave your face 3 times a day in high school, right?
Woof.
That was a lot. I had to go find the bathroom that the kids didn't use as much. Somebody did catch me shaving. It was embarrassing. We didn't have the internet back then. We didn't have like cool people like Alok to be like, fuck it, body hair's dope. Nobody was being
Yeah.
that spokesperson. So
Especially then.
late 70s, early 80s.
Was this
please.
like a PCOS thing?
Yeah, I have PCOS.
Okay.
I was growing facial hair at like 12. Had a unibrow at 4. My mom tweezed without my consent. I want it back. The testosterone's not bringing it back yet. The sliding scale has always been since I opened up the shop. Since I was sugaring Brooklyn, I was given like 50% off of sugaring because that's what I could do. And we average like $5,000-$6,000 a month in subsidized hair removal for trans and sex worker clients that come to
That's
Uncle Nat's.
amazing.
Yeah. Some people just need hair removal to survive this life and to pay their bills. And we think we need to like think about that.
You really are a life raft for a lot of people in this community, specifically New York City.
Thank you. I think we all have to be, we can't rely on government.
Yeah. No.
We can't rely on any one particular anything. We all have to be doing something.
We only really have community at the end of the day. And it doesn't really matter what your personal beliefs are. We're all humans at the end of the day, and everyone deserves love, care, acceptance, grace.
Yeah.
Those are basic human
Yeah.
fundamentals.
And everyone deserves that,
Everyone.
even if they've done or said something that's deemed wrong.
We're human.
Yeah.
That is within our nature to mess up.
Yeah. And
But
it's within our nature to be on a journey and be on a learning curve.
Life is about evolution
Yeah.
and becoming a better version of yourself and trying to learn every single day. As long as you're learning and staying open and owning up for whatever mistake or misstep you take, fine. Just learn from it. Don't repeat it. Don't harm people. Continue to move onwards and upwards.
Yeah.
It's really simple.
Yeah, it kind of is. I forgot who it was, but some famous guy that writes for Marvel or something got canceled at one point for something he said, back in the 90s. And he said something like, yeah, like I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that. And then just like paused.
I think about cancel culture a lot because in some ways I do think there's a small subset of people who deserve to be deplatformed and canceled because like what they're saying is harmful and hateful and a slippery slope. But that's a very small percentage of people. But it kind of just turned into this witch hunt. Yeah, you probably tweeted something problematic 15 years ago when you were a teenager. I did.
Yeah. Yeah. Like obviously
I
I
was a
didn't
kid.
yeah, I didn't grow up on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So, but people who have grown up on the internet, that means their whole learning curve, their whole life is on the internet.
Which is also a new thing we've had to navigate as a society because now we're starting to see the ramifications of being online for a long time. There's like this index
Yeah.
of a digital footprint we've left behind, and now we have to own up for the things we used to put out there and
Yeah.
co-sign. We didn't understand the gravity of it because it's so new, and we're still learning
How it's
the
affecting us.
consequences and the
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
and all of the things that come with it.
I would disagree though. I don't think anybody should be deplatformed. I think that we shouldn't limit people's voices. We should have stronger cultural foundations of compassion. You know, there's like people that stand up on a soapbox and say terrible things on the street every day, right? And that doesn't mean we have to stop and listen to it. And
Yeah.
it doesn't mean we need to gather around it. The gathering around the voices just means that, you know, people are thinking those things. And I get that even in my industry, right? There are people that are like, I just want to give Brazilians to cis women with vaginas. Like, that's just what I want to do. And I'm like, okay, I don't think everybody should be doing what I'm doing. I don't think that what I do needs to be for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think that more people should be doing it. I'm showing it as a blueprint.
Yeah.
I'm showing people that you can actually make bananas money by
Yeah.
being accessible. Like, sorry,
Mhm.
I hate to say it, but compassion pays. My overhead is like bananas and I'm disabled, so I'm not really making a lot of money. But I think that the possibility is there because
Totally.
what are you doing? You're allowing more people in your neighborhood to come to your shop. But like my point of should everybody have a voice? Look, some people say some really wild shit behind closed doors. I don't think that we should be dishonest about the ways that we're talking behind closed doors. I think we should be honest about it and unpack it. And so I don't think people should be deplatformed. I am a huge, huge advocate of the First Amendment. So I just feel like if somebody is inciting violence with their voice, then I think that that needs to be stopped. If you are causing harm, like
Yeah.
physical harm with your voice,
And
then
that's who I'm
you have
that's
to be
who I'm
stopped.
talking about. I'm not
Yeah.
even talking about people with just really bad takes and opinions.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I study journalism. I'm big on the First Amendment
Yeah.
myself.
Yes, you are.
Like
Yeah.
that's a slippery slope. We can't take that away and start making parameters around that because it can get really dangerous. But yeah, if you're actively causing harm to communities and people, we need to intervene and do something about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what that is really what I'm studying right now. I'm
Mm.
like studying a lot of conflict resolution. I want to create a blueprint for the salon industry, specifically of how to engage in conflict resolution because there's just so much conflict. And I think sometimes it gets reduced to, oh, that's a women's industry. It's just like women being mean to women, cackling hens, and drama. People call lots of things drama that it's actually like corporate espionage. Like if we were all wearing suits and carrying briefcases, then stealing the client list would be economic espionage.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, you know, somebody doing that in a man's business world? They would be in court. You would have to pay me for that client list.
Yeah.
But because it happens a lot within the salon industry, technicians leave salons all the time and steal the client list. Since the dawn of time, even when it was on 3x5 cards in
LOL.
a box, people have stolen the client list. And there should be a blueprint of how to resolve conflict
Yeah.
in ways that treat it like what it is. People have the potential to harm small businesses, right? And maybe you should think about that first before you cause the harm. Maybe you should figure out how to, as a client, you're late to your appointment and you got charged your late fee and you're so mad right now. You're so mad at Uncle Nat. You're going to call the Better Business Bureau. I can't. It's like the Reader's Digest of Yelp. What is Better Business Bureau? Does anybody look at that anymore?
I have reported a business
to the Better Business Bureau?
Yeah, I got scammed and extorted by a moving company.
And the BBB was where you went because you didn't want other 90-year-olds to not use this.
I didn't really have. I just was doing what I was told that I could do.
Okay. I've had a few interviews with the BBB.
Really?
Yes.
How did that go?
We laughed a lot together. They were like, we just want to make sure we understand. So you have this late policy? Yeah. And this person's reporting you because I go, they were late. Yes.
I
And
can't get over that because it's just like a lack of accountability. anytime you book an appointment with Uncle Nat, it says about in 7 different places
Yeah,
about
14.
your
Yeah.
No, truly, it's
everywhere.
you don't around. You
Yeah.
spell it out what your policy is. You've set up this lovely lounge area and you say come early, help yourself to a drink, a coffee.
We put a lot
make
of money
yourself
into
at
that
home.
cafe.
It is so beautiful too.
It's a
It's
good
actually really
cafe.
fun to hang out. I love being there. And it's just straightforward. Also, you're not the only business that does that, especially in New York where time is money and people are
Yes.
serious about this.
But
So
Alyssa, but I'm a fat person valuing my time. So this is the difference. My facialist has the exact same policies that I do.
mhm.
And I don't think really has so much that problem.
Interesting.
I think that it's really hard for people to see me as a fat and disabled person valuing my time. I think also saying that you're an accessible space, people just hear that and they go, "All my dreams will come
Like
true."
I can get away with anything. That's not what that means.
Oh my God, you're my own personal fat Santa? No,
No.
it's not Daddy Nats. Okay.
Daddy, could you imagine?
People always get
Daddy
confused.
Nats.
No, truly. People do treat me like the daddy. Do I have daddy vibes?
I see it.
I'll take it.
I'm not gonna not say
I don't
you.
listen. I'll take it. I may have the daddy vibes, but I am Uncle Nat.
Yeah, and you're running a goddamn business.
Everyone's like, "That's so not compassionate," and I'm reporting you to the Better Business Bureau, and I just
No,
like
actually, you're
laughed
pretty
'cause I didn't
compassionate about it. Even when
Damn.
people are late, you're like, listen, I hear you. I've had to pay so many
So many. I pay
cancellations.
so
Like
much money.
myself, like
Yeah.
I
Yes.
am someone who
Yes, you have.
is affected by this quite often. And maybe I'm speaking from a place of privilege since I live so close. And if I was late, like that would be like, okay, like you had one job. But
Sometimes the people that live the closest are late.
really,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've definitely walked with purpose before,
Yeah.
trying to get there quickly.
I've- yeah.
I broke a little sweat, but
Yeah. Thank you so much.
yeah, of course.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to work on it with technology. See, here's my thing. I don't like power struggles. I hate it.
Mm.
I feel bad. I don't want to have a power struggle with anybody.
Mhm.
I want to be clear about my policy. Yes, it's one policy. And I just want to be clear about it. And I want for people to either agree with it and book their appointment or don't agree with it and don't book your
No
appointment.
one's
I'm
making
okay.
you book an
I
appointment.
am okay, but you don't get the cake and eat it too. You don't get to book it, agree to the policy, and then be shocked when I tell you there's nothing I can do for you today. And I don't want to have power struggles anymore. So my thing is solve it with processes and technology. This is my engineer brain. So now I'm working with Mango Mint because every time I have a problem, I go to Mango Mint, our scheduling software, and I
Mhm.
say, I think we could solve this problem with technology.
Okay.
Just like this whole issue with technicians stealing the client list when they leave, and clients can go wherever they want. I am not a competitive person, but do not steal the thing that I spend $3,000 a month building ethically and then
Mhm.
spam the client list and contact clients that you didn't get permission to contact. Did you even work here at Uncle Nat's? We're a consent based space.
Yeah.
Go put yourself on Instagram like everybody else. And guess what? Maybe the person whose salon you left will boost you because some of us really aren't monsters and we're happy to tell people where you went. With that said, I worked with Mango Mint on protecting client information.
Okay.
So now you can just make it a privilege. Now you can take away a technician's ability to even see the client's last name.
Wow.
You would just be Alyssa. No phone number, no email address, nothing to steal because there's no access to it.
Mm.
I did that. I was in a meeting with Mango Mint, the head developer, and I said, I'm excited about this new technology, two-way texting. Now that
Mhm.
there's two-way texting through the app, how about you take away the privilege of seeing the information because techs don't need to see that anymore.
Mm.
So now we've solved that issue and protected business owners.
Mhm.
And now I want to do it with lateness. Hey, Mango Mint, why don't you make it so that when you send the confirmation texts for the 10 a.m. appointment, you're telling them, see you at 9:45.
Mm.
I'm all about solving all the issues of this entire industry with technology,
Mhm.
with processes and technology, because I don't want to have power struggles with people, despite my 1-star review replies.
Yeah. No, it's not fun. It's
No,
a
it's not cool.
huge, energy expenditure. It's just
Depleting.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
exhausting. I'm a tired bitch.
You do
have
enough.
long
You have enough on
COVID.
your plate. Yeah. I love the vision. I believe in the mission. Can we talk more about the design elements and the actual
space?
things you wanted to come to life that are now there in your shop?
Well, I've always wanted to do laser, so just on a
Mhm.
technological,
Your laser machine is really cool, I gotta say.
it's really
It's
fucking
really
Bentley.
cool.
It's a very good. It's a very
you
nice
say it's the
machine.
Bentley of laser.
It is the Bentley of laser machines. Listen, most people are buying $30,000 laser machines, and
Mhm.
mine is $150,000.
Okay. You just called us poor. Love it.
I mean,
You're
I
like,
never thought I would ever own one.
I mean,
When
that's amazing.
I don't know how it happened except through faith and the fact that I married money and mission. This is my feeling,
Mm,
right? If you marry money and mission, then there's just this level of protection that I think happens.
mhm.
And 4 years into the business, I was able to, in the middle of a pandemic, after the canceling, 2021, and I had just been like freshly canceled. I was $150,000 in debt with the IRS because of a
Mm,
global pandemic.
yeah.
We all just had to like shelter in place for 6 months. Nobody stopped pulling shit out of my bank account.
Right.
I had nothing.
God.
Thank God I had a little bit in there for tax dollars, but then whatever. Long story long, I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I had to pivot. And so I did. So I would say that right now, the fact that there's a laser machine in my shop is probably one of the most like mind boggling things.
Yeah.
And I'm agoraphobic. So I spend all of my time
Mhm.
pretty much on the 6th floor, right? Because
Yeah.
it's my apartment and then the shop. It's all on the 6th floor.
They said, I have the top of floor. What about it?
They really be having the top floors.
It's penthouse vibes.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. And so because I'm there all the time, I have to make it comfortable. And so I
Mhm.
decided I was going to turn the shop into my nostalgic paradise,
Mm.
1975 to 1984 vibes.
Mhm.
First of all, 1975, it was a magical year, whether that was my birth year or not, which it is. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. So many good things happened in 1975. And 1984, because I believe that decades really don't happen between the zeros and the zeros. I think they happen
Mm.
between the fives and the fives,
I buy
the
that.
fives and the fours.
I buy that.
And 1984 was magical. That's when the Apple commercial came out where he throws the Thor's hammer into the. It's very Pink Floyd The Wall.
Mhm.
It's very apocalyptic. It's very 1984. And so everything between 75 and 84 feels very magical to me. And so that's what I made the space.
And it definitely exudes that. I'm going to plug a few pictures on YouTube only, but I'm going to save the real like deep dive into your space until I can get there with a few cameras.
I think it'll be fun to go through the art of it all. I'm actually in
I'm
the middle.
dreaming about doing that.
Do you know what's being made right now for
What?
me? I told you I've been trading for art.
Yes.
This is like my whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll trade for almost anything that's of value to me. If
I think
somebody
that's so cool.
somebody come and cook for me. I'm so disabled. My nephew is disabled.
This
Cooking
is
is
a
like
call out for
it's
an
hard.
incredibly talented chef. If you need laser sugaring,
Yeah, come on
Brazilian,
by.
any services, hit up Uncle Nat.
Yeah. I mean, mostly I just like, mashed potatoes in the fridge at all times.
Mm,
But anyway, so I've been trading for art and I have many Heather Benjamins right now. Oh, they're so pretty. I have some Danielle, the current moment, who did my portraits.
who I really want to get a portrait from.
You have to.
I
And
will. It's my dream. I want to put it right there in my entryway when you walk in.
oh, legit.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of
Yeah.
self-portraits in your house. It was really hard. I think people think because I'm a double Leo that
Yeah.
they're like, "Ugh, of course you would have 4 entire portraits of you hanging in your house. First of all, I
Yeah.
only ordered 1.
Okay.
Danielle is the one that gave me 4.
Relax. Also, it's art. Also, what's so wrong with championing and loving yourself?
Literally that.
Please.
I'm
It's
a
not our fault you hate yourself, but like we don't.
yeah, we like ourselves and we're
Yeah.
Warholians. I mean, it's
And
such a Warhol
I want my space to
vibe.
feel like me. I want someone to walk in here and go, Alyssa Fronk lives here.
Yes, literally that. Just in case you didn't know who lived here, there's my portrait.
Yeah.
But she also did the dog portraits and she did some really cool art. So I have that. I have so many clients' art in the space. Books that my clients have written are in the library.
Mm-hmm.
It's all clients and community.
So good.
That's another reason to come early is read the books. There's cool like gay comics. There's some really cool shit in the
Isn't
library.
there, true or false, isn't there an assigned book? Elliot Page's book is somewhere in there?
Okay, it's not signed yet.
Oh, I thought he signed it.
No, every time he comes to the shop, I just leave the book out with a pen and I see what happens.
Trying to be discreet.
That's it.
Hey,
His
Elliot
assistant
Page,
makes-
if you're
Yeah.
watching Let Me Be Frank, my name's Alyssa Frank. Hi, thank you for tuning in. Uncle Nat would love if you signed their book that they proudly champion in their shop. No
Their
pressure.
their assistant, who is really cool, and I usually sit and just chat with when he's there, always makes fun of me for leaving the book out.
So they notice.
She's always like, "That's subtle," and I was like, I have no shame.
You don't get what you don't ask for.
I'm very good at not when high profile clients come in.
You want them to
Yeah.
have a normal experience in that
Yeah.
you're not showering them with
That.
undue pomp and circumstance and you just treat them like a human.
Obviously, they know that everyone in the room wants a photo with them. If they
Yeah.
want to offer it, they can. And if they don't, because this is their
Right.
most intimate private time, then don't. So, yeah, so that's my feeling.
Hmm.
But I still leave the book out every time with a pen just in case.
And I think that's okay because,
that part is fine. We're all just fumbling through this world.
yeah, it's a space that celebrates art and you're promoting theirs. So
Yes.
maybe just sign it
Shaka
if
Khan.
you feel, but I get
If
it.
you feel moved.
I get when celebrities and public figures don't want to feel like they're
Yeah.
in a fishbowl or
Yeah.
feel like everything is so transactional.
And if I did want a signed copy, I have a way that I could get it.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be that. I've never been very good at that.
Mm.
Like, if I saw somebody famous on the street, I never ask for a photo. I don't understand.
I thought I would maybe get excited. And when I first moved here, I did get excited when I spotted people because I'm really, really good at spotting people,
Yeah.
even if they're like kind of disguised, low key, no makeup. I'm like, I know exactly who that is.
Right.
But then I learned like, oh, that's not what you do in New York. You just let people live their lives and you just coexist. And honestly, I kind of thought about it. I was like, I don't need to interrupt their day unless it's like an organic, natural interaction.
Yeah.
And then if it is, just let it be that. And both parties are going to enjoy that 10 times more. Like, I don't want to make someone feel like a commodity.
I think that's the big of it all. Is I think Chapel Roan has been a great example of
Mhm.
talking about, how
Mhm.
celebrity can get too far. By the way, my DMs are full of people that have sent me Chapel Roan videos and said,
I'm so proud of her.
for real, for
No,
sure.
she's
She's saying the things that need to be
really,
said.
no, she is taking on some overdue conversation and
Yeah,
boundaries.
absolutely.
And
Agreed.
she's getting so much unnecessary flack for it.
By the people I would expect it from. For the most part, people are opening up their eyes and people are listening to her and people are putting these videos in my DMs and saying, Chapel Roan talking about setting boundaries and stuff reminds me of you, Uncle Nat. And
What a compliment.
huge compliment, a very huge, but also like how interesting that so few voices are talking
Yeah.
about things like this, that someone's just like, out of my whole scope of view, I'm thinking
Mhm.
Chapel Roan and Uncle Nat, the people that talk about humanizing people in the
Mhm.
service industry, because the entertainment industry is the service industry, right?
Yeah.
Your waiter,
Yeah.
your waitress, the person that you go spend money to go see on stage, all of us are putting our bodies on the line to support you. That's what we're doing. We use our
Yeah.
physical bodies to be of service.
Mhm.
And everything that Chapel Roan is saying about humanizing the people in these
Yeah.
industries is important. So I hope that people listen to what Chapel Roan is saying and apply it to the bitch that's bringing you your fucking water at the restaurant. Because did you
Amen.
get up and get your own fucking water? No.
No.
This person's up on their feet every single day, on their feet, ruining their bodies so that
Yeah.
you don't have to get up for a fucking glass of water.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be like, they didn't smile too much. I'm not going to give the full 20 tip. You. Either they brought you the water or they didn't. It's 20%. That's what it is, FYI. Or more. It's not less. They're put their
Mhm.
body on the line. The delivery people too right now. Thank you to all the delivery people.
Yeah,
I never
thank
have to
you.
leave my house again. You know that scene in The Bear?
Yeah.
Where I'm sorry.
Tell me which one first.
Yeah. You
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do. I know them all. You know that
I
scene
watched The Bear.
I watch it. I watch it hard. That was a hard show to watch because it's so also the salon industry. The restaurant and the salon industry are very connected. But that moment where the person was like, explained what being of service means.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that when you're in the service industry, that what you really want to do is direct.
Mhm.
But there are actually people in the service industry where literally they go down the deep dive of what it means to be of service.
Yeah.
I think that even people that have worked for me
Mhm.
do not really understand the detail work that I do, that only
No.
a clinically obsessive compulsive person would take the time to do. Only I, right, would do some of the shit that I do.
Mhm.
And most people don't see that work. You
Mhm.
do, but you don't. You can tell that it's layered. It's kind of like when you see like a really
Yeah.
good movie and you can't tell what is it about this, what
Mhm.
color corrected DP
Mhm.
magic just made this movie happen.
Mhm.
It's like that. It's more layers than you can imagine.
You're experiencing and benefiting from it, but you're not unpacking all the layers that are there.
You couldn't even imagine what goes into it. You can't even imagine the layers of what goes into it. And that scene in The Bear where it was like top tier dining, the idea of what is luxury. I think about this a lot. What does it mean to offer luxury to someone? You're really just humanizing them.
Yeah.
You go to these fancy restaurants, it's like $1,000 a plate or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking you if you're left-handed. They're asking you so many questions so that they can give you the perfect experience that's customized for you. And I just think to myself, this is why science has proven that the more luxury you have access to, in other words, the more money you have, the healthier you are. And I don't mean this in a just rich enough to afford doctors. I mean the difference between millionaires, 100 millionaires, and billionaires
Mm-hmm.
is actually incrementally more and more healthy.
Wow.
That says to me, these are people that live more and more and more in luxury, right? The richer you are, the more often you have access to luxury. And if you are just being whisked through your life, like cradled
Mm-hmm.
from one experience to the other, like imagine the impact on your health. And so at Uncle Nat's, I just think to myself, okay, so this isn't Casablanca, right? It's Brazilians. But how do I make Brazilians a Casablanca? And how do I use luxury to improve the health of the people that come to the shop?
Yeah.
And I do a lot of research with that. I talk to people in the hotel industry.
Mhm.
I talk to people in luxury brands a lot
Right.
about what makes luxury luxury.
Mhm.
What's deep about it,
But that's it. That's what makes you and your business so special. You really have done your research. You've put a lot of intentional thought, design, practice, systems into it.
Mhm.
And for someone like myself who wants to build something that gives back to community and helps people become better or just inspires them to do whatever they want to do, I think about these things a lot too because I know it makes all the difference. It's what sets you apart. This thing of being connected to humanity. I don't have as articulate language as you
Yeah.
do,
Yeah,
but
it is human connection.
yeah.
And that it to me is the service industry.
Mhm.
I think you can make anything liberation. There was this book called Tattooing is Liberation Work. One of my clients had actually introduced me to it because I'd been doing Brazilians as liberation work. And I
Mhm.
talk about it a lot. And somebody was like, oh, somebody did a book called Tattooing as Liberation Work. It's a great book, by the way. I think everybody should read this book. My feeling is this can be used for anything. Podcasts, anything can be liberation work. It doesn't just have to be service industry. People are starting to do that anyway, right? Nobody's taking any business seriously unless it's, I'm going to use a bad example, Tom's Shoes, which, we found out later wasn't really the greatest model, but the heart was there, right? The heart of just
Yeah.
like, how can we make any business?
They tried.
Yeah, but how can you elevate any business to have a liberation lens to it?
Mhm.
What does that look like? I think that's an important question, and I'm glad we're normalizing that now.
Yeah.
I do think that we should only sell ice cream. We have one of those businesses. I just think everybody should be thinking about that.
It should be the norm.
Yeah.
It should be the standard. Uncle Nat, now is the time of the show where I must ask you the essential question, which is, what is something you'd like to be frank about today?
I want to be frank. I want to make napping a date.
Go
Um,
on. I'm listening.
So I'm a disabled person, right? And I do a physical job for a living. So literally, after I'm done doing my job,
Mhm.
I want to collapse. And it has made dating very challenging.
Mm.
And I'm agoraphobic and I have mobility issues and I have chronic pain. So there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So I had this fantasy where I would have people come to the shop. A lot of times my first dates, like I'll be on field, first date is come to the shop, right? Which we all know, or most of us know, is down the hall from my house. But anyway, we don't necessarily do that right away
Right.
unless we do.
You gotta feel it out.
But so we have a beverage at Uncle Nat's Cafe,
Love.
which we've
That's
talked
such a
before.
flex. Come have a beverage in my own cafe that I created.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So we have a chill out session in the gorgeous space, and we just hang out on the vintage Nicoletti sofa and drink turmeric lattes.
Turmeric lattes are so good.
The turmeric lattes
I
are
just got
so
into
good.
them this year.
Mood Belly stopped making them, by the way, which I'm so angry about. Now we're looking for one that incorporates better. That's another talk. So that's a first date. So you know how some people meet at a cafe outside of their house?
Yeah.
And if they build enough trust, maybe they bring someone to their home.
Mm-hmm.
When you're disabled, it's the opposite. It's the opposite for me. I don't mind meeting people in my environment where I'm comfortable, where the
Mm-hmm.
temperature is regulated, where the seating is correct for a fat and disabled person like myself, right? The idea of going to a cafe where their brand is shitty seating. Why is
Don't
this?
get me
Because
started,
they want you to leave.
especially in New York.
They want you to get,
Especially in New York.
yeah, they don't want you there all day. Why, if you were comfortable, you'd never leave.
I had a rude awakening when I moved to the city and I realized how much they don't want me.
They don't want you there.
Yeah,
Give me your money, get the out.
literally.
That's the cafe vibe
yeah,
and most restaurant vibes.
which kind of broke my heart because I love cafes.
So because I'm disabled and because my first dates have to be like at my house
Yeah.
or at the shop, the idea is I end up building trust with somebody to leave the house with them
Mm.
because leaving the house is so scary. And I don't
Yeah.
necessarily want to be around a stranger when I have a mental breakdown, which is I get mentee Bs. They happen to me. I have alters. I have mental things. I have
Yeah.
disorders. I got disorders. And sometimes when I'm out in the world, I might have a mentee B. I'm less likely to have one in my home.
Yeah.
So that's where I meet people. I'm seeing this sweetheart and they're poly. They just got married to their primary.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, they're a sweetheart and their primary is stunning. And we have a good time and we hang out. And anyway, this person like lives far, like New Jersey. And so it's made me be like, I never want to see this person because the pressure's on.
Yeah.
They're coming all the way from far away. What if
Yeah.
I'm tired? So one day I said to them, maybe sometime if I'm tired, we could just take a nap. Maybe we could just like watch a movie, Netflix and chill, but Netflix and nap
Mhm.
could be a date. I've had people say, let's go take a walk in the park, and me say, I can't do that. I'm disabled. And they've unfollowed me on Field. The ableism of it all. Like, be fat,
That's
but at least be
disappointing.
fat and active. And I'm like, well, I'm not fat. I mean, I'm fat, but I'm not that active. So, you know what this person says to me?
Hmm.
I love a nap. I love napping.
Mm.
Would love to nap with you. Sounds great. So many of us have long COVID. Many of us are in denial of it.
Yeah.
But 75% of us probably have chronic fatigue right now.
Yeah.
And we don't
I
even know.
totally buy that.
Right?
I think I struggle with it a little bit myself, honestly.
So napping is a date.
Can you walk me through your ideal nap date?
First of all, I have an adjustable bed.
Flex.
Yeah.
King?
King. Absolutely. Of course. And the Eastern one, so there's more width. Of course. Listen.
Luxury.
I'm even starting to get into the Alaskas and the bigger. Have you seen these bigger beds?
No.
They're just so hard to find bedding for. But the dream is that I have a big enough house that I could just put two kings together
In the Hudson Valley.
in the
Soon
Hudson
enough.
Valley. Listen.
Yeah.
So dream date is we climb into my adjustable bed that
Mhm.
has the vibration on already.
Wow. So soothing.
It's real nice. And then the back is up. So we're just sitting and I have a huge screen TV right in front of us. Feels like we're in
A movie theater.
a movie theater, but it's a bed.
But it's private.
And then I have like a tray, and on the tray are snacks and,
Mm.
just yummies, just all the little yummies that we could want.
Love.
Yeah, we're watching a movie and like maybe we're like touching hands,
Okay.
and then like maybe there's makeout, and then maybe I just get tired and I fall asleep.
What about cuddling?
I love a cuddle.
Okay.
It's hard to cuddle when I'm disabled, so it depends on the person and the
Okay.
and the propping of the pillows. I have a lot of pillows. I have like a master's degree in pillow propping.
That's amazing.
Yeah, pillow propping is literally my skill. I have a partner that's up in Hudson Valley,
Mhm.
and I basically bought like 50 pillows for this bed so that when I go stay the
Wow.
night, I can be comfortable.
I just love your energy.
Look-
I will not compromise my comfort.
No.
If I have the ability to ensure my comfort, I'm going to do
Yeah.
it.
Oh no,
I don't care if it's extra. I don't care if it's over the top. I
No.
literally don't care.
No, I told him I was like, I'm coming up. Expect a Target delivery before I arrive.
And have it unboxed for me. Thank you.
No, like I'm like, and wash everything first, please. So he
Hilarious.
literally washed all the bedding, put all the pillows together, and made the bed.
That's cute.
Yeah,
I love being taken care of for
that's
once.
literally what it means to date Uncle Nat. It's rough
Yeah.
stuff. I know it's real hard.
People don't really understand how to be a caring person or like take care of someone you love.
Some of that was just taking care of me. The byproduct of it happened to be that the bed is
I'm going to bring you in for a consult to redesign my whole bed because
absolutely.
I have a king size bed I just upgraded. I love my frame. There's so much potential.
Mhm.
I have not unlocked the right mattress, the right pillows.
I'm here. I'm so here.
Something's got to give.
I actually have always wanted to make bedding
Of course you have.
because nobody makes
Add it to the list.
Listen, I have there's many needs
You have
to be
1
filled.
million business ideas and businesses.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody makes a good bottom sheet. Nobody makes a good fitted sheet for adjustable beds. Inevitably,
Okay.
they come off.
Have you ever bought Buffy? Because they have this elastic thing, and I have found that that is a game changer. Like, they have this band
Yes,
that goes it's
between the
not
corners.
raunched, and I was like, "Whoa, this is good."
Yeah, there needs to be a combination of all those things.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
I
makes
have a
sense to me.
vision, and I've used those corner things and the ones that crisscross and they clamp, and I've done them all. Like I clamp everything, and still, it finds a way.
Yeah. No,
But
I'm not
I do have some
surprised that-
ideas. But yeah, I would love to consult on your
Help
2.0
me.
bedding.
I've just realized that investing in your sleep quality is paramount. It's one of the best self-care health investments you can make.
Yes.
And I'm really starting to care about my sleep. I want to get the best quality of sleep I can. I'm not close to it, and it makes me really sad because I love to sleep.
I think there's a formula to it, and everybody has the different things that they prioritize. But Levon and I both are pillow propping people. We found out that my nephew and I have very similar sleep patterns. We
That's
never
hilarious. Genetic.
knew. A little, yeah.
Do you identify as a pillow princess or a pillow prince or
what am I? Pillow sovereignty.
oh, I
Pillow
like
sovereign.
that.
Pillow sovereign.
Pillow czar.
Pillow czar. Not in the intended way pillow princess was originally made.
Right. I didn't think about that
I
initially,
actually
but take back the power.
I work way too hard. I wish I need a little more pillow princess in my life, actually.
Yeah.
I think I'm working too hard.
Yeah. Been there. Yeah.
Looking for somebody that will allow me to flex my pillow princess side.
So much I could say, but I'm not going to.
Same.
Okay, I love that. I co-sign that. You should collab with the Nap Ministry and talk about that. Like
Wait,
naps and date. You know the Nap Ministry. They're a movement. They have a huge Instagram following, and it's this woman dedicated to advocating for rest
Yes.
and fighting capitalism.
Yes.
And
I know
I
exactly.
really, really love her work.
Yes. She's the one that says it's our right to have rest.
And I don't like this age narrative around napping is lazy and all that. Like, no, you need to recharge and reset and rest your body and actually invest in how you care for it. Otherwise, it will fail you. It will give up quicker than it's designed.
I'm done at 3 p.m. I work till 9 on Fridays, but I'm done at 3, which means I need some sort of a break rest.
Uncle Nat, I can't thank you enough for your time, your insights, your delicious shares, and just, I think you're a beautiful human, and I feel really lucky to know you. And I really appreciate all the work you've done in our community that we live in, and then continue to reach beyond your own local community and help mentor and encourage and challenge and celebrate other people doing work in business, in the salon industry, in advocacy, in the queer community, all of the above. And I like that you're so open. You contain multitudes. You're multidimensional, and you have a lot of different interests, and your brain is so fun and holds so much. And you're fascinating to me, and I love every time we get together.
Thanks, babe.
So thank you for being here, and thank you for supporting the show, which you've been very supportive of, and that really means a lot to me.
You're amazing. Yeah. I also loved the series that you did before.
Bucket
30 before
list.
30, was it?
Yeah, I did 29 activities to close out my 30s.
That's what it was.
That was really fun.
I want to do a 50 before 50, but that feels like a lot. I thought I would tell you about it, though, that I've been thinking
I have an
about
idea
it.
for you
Sick.
about how it can be easier for you to accomplish that.
We'll have a mastermind group.
If the people want to connect with you, where can they do that?
I really live on Instagram. Yeah, so
Yeah.
uncle.nats. That's really the place. I did ask my nephew to start pulling content over to TikTok,
Okay.
and I believe I'm just Uncle Nats there. The Instagram is where I spend most of my time, and please give me as much love there as
and
possible.
they're a good follow. They're a good follow. You share a lot of cool stuff. You're constantly uplifting creators and artists and resources.
Did you see my Neil Diamond impression?
No, I'll go.
Yeah, Love on the Rocks. I sang it, the whole song.
Whoa, that's fun.
Because I'm on testosterone now, so now my Neil Diamond voice is like,
I was gonna say, like, I
poppin'.
hear the octave drop.
it's kind of nice, right?
I was like, oh
I'm living down here now.
no,
I
you-
like it.
Like, you're like, bring the ashtray out. Like, I like that
Yeah.
type of voice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I've always wanted the voice, but I didn't want to smoke.
So fair.
right?
Yeah.
So many
Yeah.
people smoke to get the voice. My website is fun, unclenats.com.
Yes. And that is hyperlinked in their Instagram. So it's
Yeah.
kind of a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
I think they can find most of where you are on your Instagram.
I also have a podcast. So we did like a Pride Month starter.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Other People's Hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it with my friend Kristen Rankin, who started and runs a nonprofit called Dress Code Project.
Cool.
And it helps hairstylists to give gender-affirming haircuts.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I met them on Instagram 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, I do what you do, but with Brazilians. And
Incredible.
they were in Toronto at the time. One day they were like, oh, I'm in New York. Let's be friends. And now we're like,
Are they based in New
besties.
York now?
Now they are.
Cool.
They're a part owner of Fox and Jane Hair Salon.
Oh, okay, cool.
You can get your hair cut with Kristen, by the way, in the East Village location of Fox and Jane.
Oh, that's
And I'm just, listen, I'm
that's
going to
a
be
steal.
shameless here and just say that's the Elliot Page connection. They do Elliot Page's hair.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I was actually listening to an episode this morning, the one with Nick Casey.
Nick Casey is so
Yeah.
cool and just
Yeah.
opened up a non-gendered shoe store in LA. Yeah. So such a cool person.
You got to get out there and go shoe shopping.
Oh, legit.
I
They
was
have the
actually
coolest
just-
shoes. But yeah, it's a fun podcast. If you just want to hear stories about hair, we didn't want to make it too deep. You know, it's like show, don't tell.
Yeah.
You know, our whole life is about talking about accessibility and all the deep shit around the politics of hair.
Mm-hmm.
But really, at the end of the day, right, everybody has a hair story. And it's just our way of saying a haircut and a Brazilian is more than just a haircut and a Brazilian, but we do it in a fun way. And we're going to have a new season soon.
Again, it comes back to the humanity of it all. Hair connects us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yes.
New season dropping this year,
Ooh.
next year.
This
Don't know
year.
yet. Okay.
Yeah, there should be a season this year.
I'll
before
definitely
wraps
promote
up.
it once it's up and live
babe.
on all the LMBF stuff. So be on the lookout. But if you're following Uncle Nat on Instagram, like we suggested, you'll know. Yeah,
Oh my God, you're the best.
I'm trying. Thank you for challenging me and educating me. I really appreciate it. To those who tuned in, whether you're listening or watching, I hope that you learned something new in this episode. This was probably, I'm going to say it was probably out there for a lot of my audience members, but that's exactly what I want this show to
Good.
do is
Yeah.
expand horizons. I want all of my guests to be different from the next.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest privileges of living in New York City, in my opinion, is I have access to people from every walk of life. And I've been so fortunate to connect and make friendships, but really learn from people and help broaden my worldview and be more empathetic and more understanding and look at my actions about how I'm showing up in my community. Where are my dollars going? Where is my time going? Who am I supporting? Who am I not supporting that I should be? It's helped challenging me in a very healthy way, and it's helping me evolve to be the ideal type of person I want to be, which is someone who champions people and has my neighbors back and really loves people like they deserve to be loved, because that's what I was raised to do. I was raised in a conservative Christian household.
Legit.
And
you
I
were.
don't really identify with that anymore, but I do identify with love your neighbor as yourself. I think it's one of the most radical, amazing things we were ever instructed to do. And I really try to live that out daily. I'm trying my best. A lot more work and improvement to go, but I hope that you all feel inspired or moved or educated in some way, shape, or form. And you came to this with an open mind and heart. I wish I had said that up top, but I am trusting my community
Yeah.
to do that and to be loving, and show support in the comments if you love this episode.
Oh, you're the best.
You're the best. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in to Let Me Be Fronk. Again, I'm your host, Alyssa Fronk, and this is a bi-weekly talk show I host in my apartment, like I already said up top. You can connect with us on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify, but YouTube is my favorite place because I add in all kinds of fun media additions, like you'll see here in this episode. So some behind the scenes of Uncle Nat's life and the cool things they talked about today. If you'd like to connect, you can send an email to letmebefronk@gmail.com. We are Let Me Be Fronk Show on Instagram, Let Me Be Fronk on YouTube, and Let Me Be Fronk on TikTok, which I promise I will get something up by the time this episode drops. Thanks for tuning in. Love you lots. See you next time.